This episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio. For a free trial and 10% off your first purchase, go to squarespace.com and use offer code LIES.
You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's House of Lies After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's House of Lies After Show.
What up, everybody?
Yo.
Hello.
How are we doing today, guys?
Great.
Yeah?
We're doing House of Lies. Good.
That's
Dancing.
That's how we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome, guys. I love it when you guys dance and
Right.
do all that song.
I
because-
love the way you lie.
Thank you, because I love the way you guys lie.
Oh.
And you guys.
Yes.
Well, let's get right into this episode, but I'm your host, Roya Taheri, and of course, joining with me, guys, is Lem Gonsalvez.
Oh, all day, every day. Yes, I'm here.
And to his right, to his left?
My left.
You're, yeah,
To
okay.
your right.
Yeah.
Is Yael Tygiel.
Hello.
I said that right?
Yeah, you said it
That would have been
perfect.
really awkward if I just said it wrong.
I would have ignored it.
I wouldn't blame you if you ignored it, just saying, that's how it works. And yeah. So let's jump right into this. The first episode, in this episode, House of Lies, what was it called? Pushback.
Pushback.
Season 3, Episode 7.
Pushback.
Pushback. Don't push me back.
I'm pushing you back.
Okay, push me back. That's fine. But you know who's not pushing back? Well, actually, I guess he is pushing back. Is Roscoe.
Oh,
is
he's
pushing back.
definitely pushing back.
Yes, he's pushing back his relationship with Marty and Marty's perspective on Lex and the whole thing. What did you guys think? Because I saw Marty was feeling that Roscoe's changing. Roscoe feels that Marty's just not there for him, and Lex is just there and trying to be Lex. So what did you guys take out of that whole scenario?
I think that Marty has a really good point. I think that Roscoe is not only pushing back on his relationship with Marty, which, yes, it happens when you're a teenager. I definitely pushed my parents away. But Lex is not. There's something off. We've talked about it before. Roya has pointed out that Lex is disrespectful to Marty, and he's kind of rude. And I think that Marty had a really good point when he was saying to Roscoe, especially about the getting dressed, like, you're letting this person tell you how to dress, and you've spent your whole life being like, I'm going to dress however the F I feel like dressing. And then all of a sudden Lex comes in and is like, no, wear something else.
Right. Well, I think I definitely think that he's in his teenagedom, and that's what teenagers do. They push back with their parents. I think there's been, and if you look at previous episodes and even previous seasons, it's not like their relationship has always been, good.
Right.
So they've had issues in the past, especially dealing with the mother involved, but they have been in a great place. And then I think because Lex come into play, I think he's pulling Roscoe out of the equation and kind of breaking up that relationship that he has with Marty, because he feels that, I don't want to say loves Lex, but it's kind of what you do when you get into a relationship. You begin to form to that person and what they want you to do, and you're trying to appease them and all this kind of stuff, and then not realizing that he's pushing his father away because also Marty does not approve of their relationship.
Do you think he doesn't he disapproves, or do you think he's just jealous that now Roscoe has somebody to be with, that now that Marty can't be there for him?
I think it started at disapproval. And then I think it went into the fact that now he feels like he's changing Roscoe, like you said before.
Yeah.
He's definitely changing Roscoe, like when he pulled him aside in this episode and he said, look, you've always been yourself. You've always, been confident in who you were as an individual, what you did, how you dressed, all this stuff. And you're allowing this individual to kind of change you. And I think Marty loves the fact that Roscoe is an individual, but at the same time, he doesn't want to see him fall to somebody else that could not be there tomorrow. Because again, we're talking about teenagers here.
That's trtrue.
Well, can I ask you guys both a question then? Do you think it's how
Maybe
Lex...
you can ask me a question.
Well, I'm gonna. So,
What?
you-
Don't push back.
The Pushback episode, son.
yeah. Do you guys think that the reason why, if it was anybody else, say Roscoe was dating a girl that was, I don't know, not Lex.
That was traditionally like a traditional girl. You
Yes.
mean?
Do you think that Marty would have a completely different point of view about the relationship, or do you think it's because of who Lex is that Marty doesn't?
I think
In this part, in the very beginning of this episode.
in the very beginning, I think it still goes back to he originally disapproved, but I still think if it was a traditional, what we call a traditional girl or female living their lives as a girl, and she was doing this to him, he would still pull him away, pull him to the side and give him that same speech, most definitely.
I think that originally Marty's concerns, I want to believe that originally his concerns with the relationship was that he didn't understand it and he was uncomfortable with it. That's what I want to believe. But I think that what ended up happening was that Lex is not a good influence. And so his real issue with it is no longer like, well, this person who isn't conforming to what I'm used to makes me uncomfortable. It's this person is disrespectful, rude, and is trying to change my son.
Right.
I think that if Lex was what we're used to, a traditional woman growing as a woman, portraying herself as a woman, then I think even with this behavior, he would hate her.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if she was, less of a bitch, really, I think that Marty would totally have no problem with her, no matter what she looked like.
Okay, can I ask you guys a question? I don't want you to answer it right now because we'll get to it at the end of the episode.
I'm so
But do you
excited.
think...
You're going to ask us a question to not answer.
Yes, exactly. I want you to think about it,
Okay.
mold it over, write it
Okay.
down, do what you got to do.
Okay.
But I want to know, do you think Lex is acting out in the way she is because she can't be herself with her family, therefore she doesn't get the parental guidance that Marty would be giving to her?
That's so
What-
funny.
We have to wait.
But
I'm not
We have to
answering.
wait.
Okay.
I'm saying that's so funny because I definitely thought about that. When she acts out and when she's being a bitch, I thought like, I wonder.
Like she
I
actually has a,
wonder
a
if
family
there's
figure.
a reason.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys are kind of on the same page with me on that.
Yeah.
But you have to give me an exact answer at the end, guys.
Oh, definitely.
Exact answer.
So now it goes from the morning, and then it goes into the Dollahide office, or we go into Skyping, and then we go from Marty Skyping with Dre, as I would like to say, Dr. Dre.
Right. Dr. Dre.
Did you
With
almost
Dre.
say it?
No, that time I was good. That time I didn't say it.
Yeah.
But we see them Skyping each other, and there's chaos going on in the background of Dre, and we see someone taking a plan away. Apparently, Lucas has told everyone, you can take whatever you want.
Right.
So Marty rushes over there to see what's going on. Dre's losing his mind, and finally, Dre comes into the office of Khan and Associates because he couldn't stand being in that building. What did you guys think of that whole scenario where Dre's freaking out?
I mean, he was losing it for sure. I think they had developed earlier this master plan that they were going to kind of cut Lucas out, and I think some of it is starting to unravel based on we saw the second season, the last episode in the club when they had the kind of fake pseudo party or whatever
Yeah.
for the shoe launch. So I think this is Lucas has kind of gotten hip to what's going on, and then he's acting out, basically throwing a tantrum, if you will, or whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it, because of what's going on. So I think that Dre is just kind of just scared. He's like, wait, what's going on? This isn't the plan. This isn't what we talked about.
Yeah, I think it definitely goes back to what we saw in the last episode where Jeannie was like, did we make the right decision? Did we pick the right guy? Because like Dre, although in this episode Lucas is throwing his tantrum, he's definitely throwing a tantrum. Dre is also acting like a child. They're both very immature, which is hilarious because they ran this giant business
Right.
and made so much money. But of course, Dre is incredibly immature.
Yeah.
I think that the
Dre or Lucas?
both of them. They're
You think both of
immature.
them are immature?
Yeah, I mean, yes, Lucas threw a tantrum, fired everyone, said take whatever the F you want.
Right.
But what did Dre do? He freaked out and called them, someone stole my tree, and what do I do? He was acting like a child as well.
Okay.
I think my favorite part of the entire episode, and I know you guys know this because I definitely brought it up, was that blatant Red Vines product placement.
Yeah.
It was, hey, there's a big bucket of red vines here.
Right.
And then Marty went, here, have some red vines.
Yeah.
And then he pushed it. And like he pushed it so that the red vines label was very clearly in the shot.
Right.
It was the most blatant product placement I've ever seen.
And it's fat-free, too. Don't forget about
It
that.
is
As
fat-free. It
Marty
is fat-free.
stated.
As Marty said.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Red vines or Twizzlers?
Neither.
Red vines.
Okay.
Yeah, Twizzlers are a little thin, but that's
Twizzlers I think, are just plastic coated candy. Like, I think they're
Yeah.
candy coated plastic.
But that makes me wonder, is there a website that has a comparison between Twizzlers and Red Vines? Because if not, they should make a website on Squarespace.
They should.
Yeah. And Yael, you've dealt with not Squarespace, but websites. Maybe you've dealt with Squarespace. What can you tell us about Squarespace?
I can tell you that Squarespace is incredibly easy to use. It is got this drag and drop design. So to make your own website, you just have to like click, oh, I want this. I want this text box over here. I want this photo over here, which makes making a website incredibly simple. I know that I wish I had used Squarespace when I made my website because that would have been a lot better. Not only is it easy drag and drop, but it's also design focused. It's very clean and simple to use. And you can sign up for a free trial right now. And you can get 10% off your first purchase if you use our promo code LIES.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
If Red Vines and Twizzlers want to make their comparison site, they totally can use Squarespace.
I think I'm going to use Squarespace and do that and make a comparison about Twizzlers versus Red Vines because it's so easy.
Yeah.
And you know what's awesome about it? You don't have to put your credit card down.
What?
Yeah, you don't have to do it. You can try it and then you can pay. That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome that way.
Free trial, no credit card.
Because I don't
needed.
even have a credit card, so that's great for me.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Squarespace sounds great. So let's get back into the episode
Let's do that.
because we see the old pod coming back to Lucas's crib.
Oh, it's the big kitties and the little kitties.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And we see, I love the whole scene of Marty explaining Hood Rat. That's what it was called.
Hood
right?
Rich.
Hood Rich, sorry, Hood
Yeah.
Rich. I love that whole graffiti, circling everything. I
Right.
love when they do those descriptions. It just, it makes the show so unique when they do that.
I just wonder where he got the spray can.
It fell out of the sky. You didn't see it?
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, why did it fall out of the
Oh,
sky?
Why
well,
not? He's Hood Rich.
Exactly. Did you? My
Fair
question to you guys is: Did you get a better description of Hood Rich? Like, were you interested in what Hood Rich was? Like, were you in the dark about it?
Oh, is Hoodrich really a term?
Yes, it is.
Oh, well then, yes. When he said it, I totally stop laughing at me.
She said it's really a term.
Shut up. So when he said it, I was like, oh, okay, like I get it. He doesn't need to explain it.
Right.
But then when he did explain it, I was like, yeah, that's what I thought it was. But I didn't realize that was like a legitimate term, which makes me wonder. Remember we talked about way back in like the first episode, the bear hug in business. So I guess I'm going to assume that if Hoodrich is a real term, bear hug is also.
I feel like they don't BS us because even though they do lie and they love to lie, I don't
Right.
think they would lie about those
You
lingo
think
words.
those are real words?
Well,
don't
Hoodrich
know.
is definitely real. I don't know about bear hug, but I would say if it's not real, I think it should be because I thought the way he described it and it made sense in that type of scenario. So,
Right.
yeah, they don't BS us in real life, just on TV.
Yeah. So Hoodrich.
Is real.
Okay.
It is it's so. I love how you just were like, what?
Wait, Roya,
Yeah?
did you know that Hoodrich is real?
No, but
Okay, so
just saying.
thank
just
you.
saying.
Thank you. Okay, so you can laugh at her as well. You don't have to laugh
I laughed
me.
at her. I did.
Okay, good.
I did. No, I laughed at you equally.
Great.
It's all good. It's all good. I just was curious if you guys, I was more interpretive if you knew. I figured you had heard the term, but maybe wasn't clear on what it was. So I was just wondering if
It's
that actually.
pretty clear what it is.
Yeah. Right.
He didn't need to. He could
Explain
have just
it.
said Hoodrich. And I
Right.
would have been like, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it was
Okay.
more fun the way he described it.
It was
I
fun
liked
the way
it.
he
I'm
described
not
it.
saying
Yeah.
he shouldn't have. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm done.
Anyways, moving on
making
with the
fun of
Hood
me.
Rich.
I'm not. I promise.
Lucas's
I'm not.
crib.
So
Yeah.
they walk in, and Lucas is giving them a grand tour of everything, of the whole house, and basically Marty says again, Hood Rich. And he talks, finally they make it into the living room, and Lem pointed out, and this is a random observation, but pointed out that one of the guys sitting down was eating Cheetos with chopsticks out of a bowl. And we weren't sure if Lem was going crazy.
Right.
But Lem is right.
It refers back to what Lex was saying earlier. Lex was asking Marty, "You're rich. Why don't you have Cheetos?"
Oh,
Did you not
I
catch
did
that
not,
connection?
No.
I did not catch that connection.
That's why he was eating Cheetos, is because
Okay, you win. You're 1-1.
Yeah.
You know, that whole...
Right. Right. Oh, yeah. You made up for the
I'm
rich.
still 0-1, but I didn't point it out. Just going to say that.
yeah, no, the Cheetos were because Lex has said earlier, if I was rich, I'd have a bunch of Cheetos. And then
Okay.
Marty said, well, that's why you're not rich.
Right.
Well, then
Right.
I got another observation, but I noticed it during the thing, not when Lucas bluntly made it obvious that it was a boxing match between him and Marty.
Right.
But I caught on when they kept cutting back to the boxing match.
Yes.
That it was a boxing match between him and Marty, Lucas and Marty right now.
Look at
Oh,
you,
I see what you're
metaphor.
saying. So you
Just
using
saying, I
the-
caught that before,
You
and then
did.
at the end when he rips off his shirt, he's like, "Yeah, well, you better bring it."
Right, right,
Kinda,
right.
That was my diva head nod.
Yeah,
that I
that was
did.
that was dope.
But
like
thank
that.
you.
It's
Yeah,
very
so
nice.
in that whole scene when they're sitting around the couch, they're basically telling Lucas, "You need to get out. You need to get out. Why bring him down?" Right? That's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys got out of it too? That they want Lucas to unsign the whole
He needs to sell his
Dalahide.
half.
Yes.
He needs to sell his half to Dre so that they can move on with their business. And I don't know why when they were leaving Lucas's crib, as Doug called it, your crib. When they were leaving the mansion, Jeannie says to Marty, "You I'm like fumbling over my words. I apologize." She says, like, you didn't think that, this was such a great, or thank you for making us follow through with such a brilliant plan.
Right. She was just making fun of
Yeah.
his idea of coming because it backfired, basically.
Yeah. And so I wonder, did Marty think that Lucas was not going to, like, he was just gonna be like, "Oh, I guess you guys won. Here's all your, I'll
After
sign
all
over."
the fighting at the end of the last episode.
Yeah, like,
Right.
did he think he just handed over?
Well, I think, Marty's a smart guy. He's a talker. He's good at what he does because of his mouthpiece. So I think he feels that Lucas is not as smart. When they've talked to Dre, they kind of, make it seem like he's this loose cannon. He's kind of hood. He's, not really up on game. He's kind of, they built this business together, but he's not the brains in operation. Like,
Right.
that's been established. So being that as it is, I think, Marty coming with all his team, the pod, and we're just going to kind of bully him with our words and kind of just throw some jargon at him and make him do what we need him to do. I think that's what his intent. And I think Lucas kind of was just like, nah, it's not going down like that.
Right.
And then he fought back and then, or pushed back, I should say, and then just kind of went back. And then, of course, Jeannie stepped in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
After waiting for the valet to bring her car up in front of the
Right,
house,
right.
which is a little funny.
Right.
But
What's funny is that he's a valet that she asked him to bring the car around and then not take it.
yeah, well, it was ballet, whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So she stays back and she does what she needs to do in order to get Lucas to sign off on his Dalahide
Exactly.
products. Do you guys think that that was something she needed to do? And real quick, her father passed away, and that was a little subtle thing. Was that true? Was that not? Was that just her trying to make a sympathy, kind of like relate to Lucas, so he would let his guard down with her?
That's a good question, and I thought about that because the way it never came up any other time. She brings this up, and I think honestly, based on if she made that statement like maybe I don't know last season or something like that, I would think like, oh, she's just kind of manipulating the situation. But because she's so, for lack of a better term, gangsta, like right now, like she's just kind of owning herself and,
Yeah.
and her stash in the company and what she's about. I really think that was true. And I think she was just letting him know, look, I don't play any games. My father, I'm trying to be about this money. I'm going to be at my desk. I'm going to let you know that this is what we need to do. You know what I'm saying?
That's so funny. I feel like the what she said about her father, I feel like that was true and she was being honest.
Right.
But I feel like her entire relationship with Lucas is a manipulation. I feel like she has no feelings for him and she's using what she's got. And speaking of what she's got, I have to note it. For those who don't know, Kristen Bell had a baby between seasons. and now she's got post-baby boobs, and they were beautiful in that bikini. Did no one else notice? No? Or the bathing suit?
I'm a guy.
You noticed.
You noticed right away.
They were that scene of her on her back in the water was just
A
beautiful.
lot of those scenes were really great, especially the wide shot of them sitting in the pool and her shoes are in the shot, but it's
Yeah.
focused on them.
Right.
Oh, I love that shot. I was like, that's great.
No, it was a dope shot.
And then when they
Cinematography,
dropped the
yeah.
phone,
The phone.
and then again she leans back and you see her beautiful post-baby boobs.
We're going back to the boobs.
It was great
needed-
lighting and everything, even in the
Right.
pool
Right.
at night.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
great. Well done.
I have
well
a question. Speaking of that very scene, what do you think? Because I thought about this as well, and I really couldn't get it. What do you think the significance of her was dropping the phone into the pool? Do you think, or did that have significance? Do you think that was just a kind of a flippant thing to do in the episode, or did that have some significance? Because there's a lot of things, as you noted, about the Cheetos
Yeah.
and chopsticks. There's a lot of significance with things that these people, the director, is doing with some
Yeah.
of these scenes. So, do you think that had anything?
I definitely think that was I am going to F over Marty, because that's what she goes on and does, is she tells Lucas, like, this is the amount you're going to ask for. And then later we find out that he asked for even more.
Right.
And Marty's like, well, Dre doesn't have that money.
Right.
She's like, I know.
Right.
I think that was a metaphorical F Marty.
That's true, because she did say, call him now, and he
Right.
goes, no, I'll call him tomorrow. And she
Right.
goes, okay. And
Yeah,
she
And then
flips
drop
it
the
make her
over.
phone.
sweat.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I
how
think
is he
it
going to
was-
call him if the phone's in the pool? Like,
It's
Well,
her phone.
Yeah, it was her phone. And I'm
it's
pretty
her
sure it was
phone.
in a waterproof case, because
Oh,
it looked like
okay.
I was watching, like, that looks different than usual.
oh, so
but-
you peeped out the waterproof case?
I'm one of those people.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
You can assume that, like, the set people put it in a waterproof
Yeah.
case. So that
Okay.
they're going to throw it.
Anyways, yeah, it's not a huge important thing if the
Right.
phone was in waterproof. If not,
I think it was very important.
okay, fair enough. But while she's taking those shots of Jose Cuervo, we see Marty drinking some scotch in his apartment as Jeremiah comes into the room, and they start talking about Roscoe, and Marty talks about how Roscoe is acting out, and because of Lex, it's this and that, and Jeremiah goes, it's not that at all. Roscoe he's not that bad.
Right.
And Marty just like, and Jeremiah kind of brings him back to when Marty's mother passed away, and how Jeremiah and Marty got into it as growing up. So it's very similar, but kind of letting Marty know you could have it a lot worse.
Right.
And he doesn't.
I'm just going to go on record saying I really like their relationship in this season. I think that, the fact that, because again, this is also something he didn't have a really good relationship with his father in the past seasons. So I like the fact that he kind of, he lives there, of course, but they actually have a good relationship, and Marty like listens to him and respects him as his dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I really like, and that was a touching moment in the episode when he kind of had that heart to heart with him and just let him know, kind of put him back in perspective and say, look, this is a teenager. Same thing I did with you. It's just happens. It'll get over it.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
It was really, I agree with everything you said. I really love
course
that
you did.
relationship. Yeah, because it was right.
Right.
That I love their relationship, and I love that Jeremiah basically said, like, hello, he's a teen. This is what's
Right.
happening.
Right.
You did the same thing. You'll get over it. You'll become stronger.
And I didn't love it, but I found it interesting that Marty was trying to blame Jeremiah for not being there.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why Roscoe's the way he is. Marty's trying to run a business, and yet because Jeremiah's not there, hello, I think you should be replacing Jeremiah with your name.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why Roscoe's acting out.
Oh, definitely. I think Jeremiah says to him, like, fucking take responsibility. Sorry.
You try and censor all the other words.
Yeah.
and then that one
Let that one
I
go.
slipped. He said, take responsibility. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, wah, wah.
But I also really love that they brought back, or they mentioned Chantel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she might be coming back.
I hope
hopefully.
so.
Yeah.
That thing is hilarious.
So then it moves on into the office scene of when Marty gets the phone call from Lucas, as you mentioned, and
Yeah.
Lucas asks or tells him, "I'll do it, but I need X amount of money." He needs
$150 million.
$1 million.
but only Dre has 125. He said, or 100.
No, he was the contract was for 50 million, and Jeannie told him to go for 125 million,
Right.
and he went for 150.
Yeah. And that's when it comes clear that Jeannie did this for Marty in order to get the ball rolling for them for Dre.
Right.
But then Marty makes the comment, well, Dre doesn't have that money.
Yeah.
So that leads us to wonder what's going to happen
Yep.
with Dre and Lucas and all that jazz.
Well, I mean, don't you think that Jeannie knew that he didn't have that money? I mean, she knows what's going on.
yeah.
I mean, she basically did this first of all, to kind of show that she can kind of handle her own and kind of put Marty in his place, because at first he didn't know and he just thought like, oh, because I went over there and we brought a team and then it worked.
Yeah.
And obviously it didn't. She did what she did to make it work. But she did say, she's like, I'm just going, now you're his, what did she say? So I think she did that to basically get what needed to be done, but also make Marty kind of squirm a little bit.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree.
For sure.
I think she knew exactly what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that brings us, I mean, that was a really interesting point of the whole, what Jeannie was doing, her power, pushing back.
Right.
As we would say with the episode, right?
Push
Yeah.
back.
It's like everything in this episode
yeah.
is a pushback.
And the next pushback, I guess you could say, is Roscoe and Lex playing basketball drunk in the apartment of Marty. And at first we were all, are they high? Are they drunk? And because they were giggly. Turns out they were drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And Marty goes, let's go. Everyone get the hell out. We're
Right.
going, we're going, we're going. So Marty takes them in and pulls up right in front of Lex's house.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think Lex is about to get out.
Right.
But she doesn't. She closes the door. And Roscoe says to Marty, no, we got to turn around for this. We got to turn around for this.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we find out as an audience that Lex's family has no idea the life Lex is living. Bam!
Man, that was crazy. I mean, you knew that there was something, and we say this
Yeah.
earlier, and it kind of goes to the question you asked, at the beginning, that we have to hold on until the very end. But I think that it just shows, I think it just put everything in perspective about Lex. Like everything that we were wondering, like, why is Lex, like this, such a jerk, acting out this way, all these different things, manipulating Roscoe, this, that, and the other. Why is he in a relationship with him? And then it just comes full circle. That's the way I got it. It was just like everything that I thought about Lex, and we talked about this in previous after shows, about the behavior. It all came full circle, and I know exactly why this person was how she was.
Yeah, I think it was really great that they showed us what was happening. They showed us, look, that her home life is not great. This is why she's being a jerk. But I think I personally believe, and we'll see when they let us know more about her family life, I think it's not that they don't know that she's like this, that she dresses like a boy and lives like a boy. I think that they know and said, no, you're a girl. You dress like a girl.
They
You
don't
must-"
believe her.
Yeah.
So you think that she's put it out there and they've rejected it?
Yeah. I think it's much more likely, just because I know lots of people who grew up like this, and that it's much more likely that she told them, look, I'm Lex, this is my life, and I am a boy. And they were like, no, you want to live under this roof, you will dress like a girl.
Now, this is just me kind of going into predictions a little bit, but I'm not going to jump into it. But it's a question. Do you guys think that Lex's family abuses her, like her father? Because the way he shut that door, either he's kind of got a little race issue, or he is a little bit abusive towards his daughter. I don't know. It was a little bit creepy the way he shut that door.
Okay, so this is how I took it. And I'm just under the assumption that Marty contacted Lex's family and mentioned what happened. And again, this is how I took it, and I could be swayed, but how I took it was he called the family, said this is what happened, they were drunk, drinking or whatever, and so Marty drops Lex off to her house, and of course she has to change because they don't know she or disapproves of her living as a boy, and he goes in and he's just upset because of what happened. So I mean that's how I took it, but. Like I said, I could be swayed, but that's initially when I saw it, I took it as, oh, okay, she's in trouble because of what happened.
My first impression was that they're probably more conservative, and it's more, we don't want you hanging out with this Roscoe kid because we know that something's off with him, or that we don't like your friends because we know what you're trying to do with your life. You want to be a boy, and we don't like whoever you're hanging out with because they clearly accept you, and we don't want that. But I also did get a little bit of the race issue.
Yeah.
When Marty waved, and they were like, and they slammed the door.
Yeah.
I was like,
but do you think that had to do with race though? Just because
there was something
There was
about
something
it.
weird about that whole
There was something.
whole
I
thing.
don't think that Lex is being abused, physically
Maybe
or
verbally?
sexually. Probably verbally. But I think that I don't know. There was something. There
Yeah.
was something odd.
Because I could say the other end and just say that Lex doesn't the family does not know, because maybe they are a very strict family, very conservative family. So they don't even know Lex is living as a boy, and she is consistently has to be a boy on the outside. And whenever she comes home, she has to make sure she looks like a girl.
Right, but then why was he so? Because I feel like if Marty had called ahead and said, they were drinking and I'm bringing Lex home, they
Right.
would have said Michelle. They would have said to him,
true.
Michelle. I know, because
They would have said, "Oh,
And I think Marty would have learned about it being Michelle.
Right.
prior to."
Yes, I don't
Yeah.
think he called. I think what his goal was to bring the kid up. Like, look, this is your
your
child.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this
yeah.
is what they're doing.
Yeah, look how drunk she is, and this is your parenting. I don't think so. I don't want them anywhere near Roscoe, or want her anywhere near Roscoe. But then when it's
That happened,
revealed
right.
that Lex's family probably doesn't really know what
Right.
Lex is going through,
Right.
and she has to hide, that it kind of dawned on him that this kind of abuse.
Hmm.
First off, she doesn't have a key. She has to ring the doorbell.
Yeah, I also noticed that she knocked.
But hey, whatever. More dramatic. More
I think
dramatic.
that's
you
I
know?
think that's dramatics. I think
Yeah.
just like when the whole time they kissed and they had to like, can you go around the corner? Like they could have just went outside, but
Yeah.
of course it's
Yeah.
dramatics.
Yeah, that's true. But hey, you know what? Where can they comment about us and let us know what they think, Yael?
People can find us on iTunes. That's right, people. This is a free podcast that we do for you, available on iTunes to download or stream. You can also watch us on YouTube. That's right. We are on YouTube, iTunes, and live streaming on the AfterBuzz site. So please check us out on iTunes, download us, share us with your friends, leave a comment, and give us a 5-star rating if you love us. Give us a 4-star rating if you don't.
There's no such thing as 4.
Yeah,
It's 5
we
or
only do
nothing.
5. 5 or go home and go bust or
big or go
home.
home.
Right, there
Yeah.
you go.
I got you. So give us a rating, give us a comment. Let us know what you think about Lex's situation. Do you think her father's abusing her? Do you think it was a race issue? Do you think we're way off topic? Let us know what you think, and also comment on YouTube. That is a great way to find us.
Yes, and there's people on YouTube, right? That we should
Oh,
give
yes.
shout outs.
Thank you. I did. We want to give a shout out to Lakeisha, who left us a comment last week and the week before. So thank you. And Miss Lean, I think that's how it is. Misslene. I apologize if I'm butchering it. Thank you for the comments. We are so excited.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
And before we go into predictions, let's just lead into predictions with this quote. Drinking is for boys with cheap purses.
purses.
And predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, so Lem, Mr.
Yes.
Lem, what is your prediction? Quickly, if you can say one sentence, what's your prediction?
One sentence.
No carry-ons.
Sorry. One sentence. Clyde is going to bring in the oh shoot. It threw me off when you said one
McClintock.
sentence. Thank you. The McClintock file. He's going to bring and show everybody up because he's been talking about it so many times in that episode, like a lot, like 5 times, I think. And then, but I think he's really going to bring them in and everybody's going to be startled and shocked and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't believe it.
Awesome.
That was good.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yael.
I was like, is it me? Is it my turn? I think we saw from the next time, which is going to be on the 9th, that Sarah and Caitlin will meet, and I think Doug will do something really stupid. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely, Monica's back. So I'm going to state the obvious. Monica is going to do Marty, and Jeannie's going to get jealous that that's happening.
Yep.
But for everyone watching, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And again, rate us on iTunes and stuff. But you can find me on Twitter. That's at Hey Roya, HeyRoya. And I'm also on Instagram as well. Lem, where can we find you?
You can find me at my house, but if you're online, you can find me at The Poet Saint, and that's at Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on. All that good stuff.
Lem, or Yael?
I'm Yael. The people can find me on my site, yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. And on Twitter and Instagram at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL.
Awesome. And thanks again, guys. You can find us on AfterBuzz Twitter as well. So we will catch you next week. So thank you guys very much.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.